morning everybody, welcome to today's class. I hope you all had a lovely weekend in the sun. If you were here for Friday's session, when I had a few technical difficulties with my phone, hopefully that won't happen today, fingers crossed. Just hoping my phone isn't going to fall off of the holder today, but we shall see. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, we're going to go into a little stretch. I'm just going to stretch through the back, curving and lifting, which we've done lots of times before. So you can do this one standing if you want to, or in a knelt position. So just make sure you're nice and tall through the upper body. Interlace the fingers in front, and just curve the arms as you start to reach them forward. So then you're going to drop your head and pull your tummy in as you start to curve your back. I'm just holding here as you take nice deep breaths in and out. Then releasing the hands, bring them behind. Again, interlace the fingers and pull the arms back. We're going to lift the chest and look up towards the ceiling. So slightly leaning back, just really opening up in the front of the body. Relaxing over in both of those again. Interlacing the fingers. Curving the arms, dropping the head, holding here. Dropping those arms, interlacing the hands behind, pulling them back to lift the chest. And relaxing there. So from here we're going to lay on our backs for our breathing. So you're going to be laying down in a neutral position with your knees bent. Feet on the floor. So as you're laying down, you just want to make sure you've got that gap underneath your lower spine, just big enough to be able to get your hand underneath. Resting those arms down beside you. Look up towards the ceiling. From here, we're just taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're taking these nice deep breaths in now, I want you to think about the position of your hips. So imagine you've got a torch on each hip bone, and they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. We're keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. So the shoulders are away from the ears. The chest is nice and open. Weight is evenly placed through the feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. Just start to gently tighten through the tummy. The next time that you breathe out, I want you to tuck your pelvis under, so you're flattening your lower back into the floor. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to come back out to neutral. Tucking under to flatten. Holding. Releasing out to neutral. So as you're tucking under, you're trying to find that nice strong flat back position. So using your tummy muscles and your pelvis to move. On this next one, we're holding our flat back, tucking under and hold. So now you're in a flat back position. You want to try and make sure there's no gap between your lower back and the floor. You should be nice and pressed down into your mat. We're going to be holding that position and tightening in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're tightening all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So you're thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. So as you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder and that your back is slightly flatter into the floor. That's half this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So you still want to keep this relaxed position through the upper body. So your shoulders are away from the ears. Chest is nice and open. If you are feeling really tense through your upper body, you're just rotating your palms to face the ceiling. You're pulling the tummy all the way down towards the spine. Keeping that weight evenly placed through the feet. So big toe, little toe, and heel. We're halving one last time. So 20 to 25% tightening. This should feel like a very gentle lifting, something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So your flat back position should feel nice and strong. You're using your tummy muscles and your pelvic floor to help you to stay there. You're going to lift both legs off of the floor into a tabletop position. So knees over the top of the hips, shins are parallel to the ceiling. From here we're going into toe taps. You're tapping one toe down towards the mat. Inhale to lift it back up. Tapping down and lift. Tap down and lift. So nice and controlled. Trying to move through the hip socket. Keeping your flat back position so your tummy is pulled down. You're using your pelvic floor. Looking up towards the ceiling, those shoulders are relaxed. Taking nice deep breaths. Let's take 2 more on each side. Tapping down and lift. Tapping down and lift. Last time each side, tap down and lift. Tap down and lift. From there, hug those knees in towards your chest. And then you're going onto your hands and knees. If you need a drink, then you can grab one. So coming onto your hands and knees, your hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. And your tummy is already nice and tightened here. As you breathe out, you're tucking the pelvis under, so you start to curve the back. Arching the spine. Dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to let the pelvis back to your start position. Each section of the spine follows. And your head is the last thing to lift. We're tucking under to curve. Arching your back. Dropping the head. We hold before releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head. So we want to get loads of movement through the back. Working into each little section piece by piece. So if you have any areas that feel really stiff or sore, just slow them down. So as you're curving your back, you think you're pulling the tummy all the way in. As you're releasing out, think of those shoulders coming away from the ears. Make sure you're breathing. We have 2 more here. Tucking under to curve. Arching the back, dropping the head. We hold. Releasing out through the spine. Lifting the head one last time, tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Before releasing through the spine, piece by piece. Lifting the head. From here, we're coming into a shell stretch. So bottom to the feet, reaching those arms out in front. Then we're laying on our sides. So you're laying down with your knees bent. Legs together, resting the head down, the arms are nice and long, palm to palm. You're lifting your top arm up, so your fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. You're twisting away from the body to the opposite wall. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So we want to keep the legs glued together and grounded so that as you're twisting away, you're getting that twist from your waist. So you can really open up your chest. Taking nice deep breaths. Getting that arm nice and long, reaching up from the fingertips all the way into your armpits. Holding. Lifting back up and over to come down. And following the hand with the head for as long as we can. So we're getting a good range of movement through your neck. We've got 2 more on this side, lifting up. Taking the head with you as we twist away. Holding here. Before coming back up and over. Palm to palm. Last one, we're lifting up. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Before coming back up and over. Back down, palm to palm. So from there we're swapping sides. So laying to the other end of your mat or rolling over to face the other side. So remember, knees are bent, legs one on top of the other, arms are long, rest your head down. So top arm lifts, your fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, you're twisting away. Holding here to take your nice long stretch before coming back up and over, back down, palm to palm. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away, we hold. Lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So keeping that length in the arms, stretching from the fingertips into the armpits. Following the hand with your head. As you're taking nice deep breaths, making sure we're getting that good range of movement. Really opening up in your chest. His legs are glued together, nice and ground as this twist comes through your waist. We have 2 more here. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. We hold. Before lifting back up and over. To come down, palm to palm. One more time, lifting up. Twisting away. Holding here. Before we lift back up and over. To come down palm to palm. From there, roll onto your back and take a full body stretch. We're going to stay on our backs, but if you need a drink, then grab one. So if you're already on your back, you want your head to be facing up to the ceiling, your knees to be bent with your feet on the floor, in a neutral position with your spine. So your arms are just going to rest down beside you. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reaching the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, we hold. Control back down. So you're using your tummy muscles to lift you. Pull the belly button all the way down. This chin to chest position is there to keep that neck nice and relaxed. So think big nod of the head and the tummy tightens to lift. We hold. Control back down. Use your pelvic floor. These arms are reaching nice and long. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. We've got 2 more here, then I'm going to change the arms. Last one here, chin to chest. Lifting up, reach those arms. Holding. Control back down. From here, you're going to bring your arms across your chest, like you're giving yourself a nice hug. We've done this one loads of times before, but not for ages. The rest of your movement is the same. Chin to chest. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. Nodding the head. Lifting up. We hold. Control back down. So remember to keep those shoulders away from the ears. So tightening in the tummy using your pelvic floor. We've got 2 more here. And we're changing the arms one last time, lifting up. Holding, control back down, chin to chest, lifting up, we hold, control back down. So from here, we're going to take the hands one on top of the other and place them onto the forehead. Your neck is sore, you can change that position to behind the head for support if you need to. It's completely up to you which one you choose. Same thing, chin to chest. Lifting up, we hold, control back down, chin to chest, lifting up, we hold, control, back down. So I need to make sure you're using that chin to chest position, even if your hands are behind your head. Elbows stay nice and wide. To keep that chest down, chest open, sorry. Remember to keep your shoulders down and away from the ears. Tummy and pelvic floor are working. We've got 2 more here. Chin to chest. Lift the shoulders. We hold. Control back down. Last one, chin to chest. Lifting the shoulders, we hold. Control back down. Hug those knees into your chest. And from there, we're coming into either a knelt or a laying on your front position. So if you don't like kneeling, if it doesn't agree with you, then you can lay on your front to do your chest lifting exercises, where your hands are mat width apart and in line with your ears. If not, we're in a knelt position for our lean backs. So make sure that your upper body is nice and tall, relaxing those shoulders. We're going to tuck the toes under if you suffer from cramp. If you don't suffer from cramp, leave them relaxed down. Slightly nod the head, so you've got that little bit of a chin to chest position. That is just to make sure you're not flinging your head back as we lean. So from here, as you breathe in, tighten your tummy and start to hinge at your knees to lean away. Exhale, squeeze the bottom to lift up. So you're going to lean back, breathing in. Exhale, lifting up. Leaning back, lifting up. To lift up. So as you're lifting up, you're really driving with the bottom and that breath out. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Keep the tummy tightened the whole time. 2 more here, leaning back, breathe in. Exhale. Last one, leaning back. Exhale. From there, we're going to take our stretch back. So you push your bottom to your feet. Reach the arms out nice and long. Then we're going to be doing the 100. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So we're going to be laying on our back. You're going to be in a flattened position. So you want to tuck yourself under and make sure you've got no gap underneath your lower spine. I'm going to talk you through what we're doing and then we'll all go together. So from here, you're going to have your legs lifted and lengthened. So we have been doing them just in tabletop. So you're still going to bring your legs up off of the floor, but from there you're going to unfold the legs and lengthen them as much as you can. It doesn't matter if your legs still feel quite bent. It's the longest position that you can maintain throughout the exercise. So if you can get your legs really long, but it tires you out really quickly, add a bend. Because I would rather that your legs were bent and you could sustain the position than you have them long and then you have to stop halfway. See what works for you. From there, if your neck is sore, leave your head looking up towards the ceiling. But if you're okay with lifting your upper body, you're going to nod the head and lift the shoulders from the floor. Your arms will be long, just palms facing the floor. You've got your usual beats up and down for 100 repetitions. So 5 as you breathe in and 5 as you breathe out. So the arms will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. From there, your hands are behind your head. You're going to go into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards the legs, still with the legs nice and long. After that, you're going to rest your head down, looking up to the ceiling. Your legs remain long, and what you're going to do is go into a crisscross with your legs for 2 sets of 8s. So if your legs are quite bent, it's just the bottom of your legs that will be crisscrossing. If they're a bit straighter, that'll be the whole leg. 2 sets of 8, then we relax and take a stretch. I will talk you through everything. Yeah, let's get going. So make sure you're in that strong flat back position. From there, lift your legs up and then lengthen them as much as you can. If you're bringing your upper body off of the floor, nod the head, lift the shoulders. Take those arms out nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pelvic floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here. Bring your hands behind your head. You've got your sit-ups coming up for 8, 7, 6, 5. Deep breaths, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more. 8, 7, 6. Tummies in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting your head and your arms down. Keep those legs nice and long. The legs crisscross for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there. Hug those knees into your chest. Then when you're ready, bring yourself out into a full body stretch. Never coming up to sitting. Grab a drink if you need one. I'm going to stretch through the legs. So we're going to take the legs just long and in front to begin with. You can sit up on something if you need to. You want to try and start with that nice long back. So try and keep those legs quite close together. I need to keep mine a little bit apart, but if you're able to, nice and close together. And all I want you to do is just slide the arms forwards as far as you can and drop the head. I want you to imagine that you're going to get your nose to your knees. Okay, that might seem unlikely, but if you have that feeling of dropping down, you'll get a better stretch. So holding here, just holding onto the leg wherever you can reach. If that is the foot, you can hold around the outside of the foot. If that's just on the leg or the ankle, you're just holding, dropping down. Remember to take those really nice deep breaths in and out. And every now and again, hopefully you'll feel that body release further towards your legs. If you want some help with increasing that stretch, you can always pull down with the body. Now you're going to slide those hands back in. You're going to take one foot and place it on the side of your thigh. So one leg is long and one leg is bent in. From here, again, just sliding down. You'll find you'll be able to get a little bit lower with that leg, with just one leg out in front rather than two. You'll always have one side tighter than the other. So hopefully you'll find that you've got one leg a little bit more flexible. Dropping that head down. Remember those nice deep breaths. You can of course start to pull yourself down a little further if you want to. Make sure you're really breathing into those lungs. Coming back up, we're going to swap sides. So bring the other leg in. So for me, this is the side of my body that I'm not as flexible on. So this is where I know that I'm tight with both legs out in front. You might notice that, or notice that you're more flexible on this side. So again, just dropping your nose towards your knee. Struggling to breathe a bit today with my hay fever, so if you're suffering too, use that breath in through your mouth. Coming back up. And then last of all, we're going to take both legs out again. Now we've stretched out each leg individually. You might notice that you can get further down the leg with both legs out. So just sliding those hands down as far as you can. Try and keep yours quite close together. Holding onto the leg or the ankle or the foot. Dropping down. If you can, just slightly pulling yourself further closer in. Then slowly bring yourself up. Just take a moment to find that centre. If you're feeling a little bit lightheaded, just take a few breaths in and out. If you need to, grab yourself a drink. Good. From here, we're going to be on our sides to do our legs. So if you need to grab yourself a towel for underneath your hip or a cushion for your arm or your head, then you can. So we're going to start off, I'm just going to move this out of the way a bit more. We're going to start off with our kicking forwards and backwards, which we've done a few times, not loads, but we have done before. Laying is the same as normal, so either resting long with the underneath arm and resting your head on top of it, or bending that arm and holding your head in your hand. It's up to you. Excuse me, sorry. You're not boring me, I promise. It's up to you which one you find the most comfortable. From here, you want your legs to be nice and long. Remember, if you're flexing your feet and you can look down and see your toes, you're in one long line. If not, bring them a little bit further forwards. So your top leg, you're going to have lifted very slightly. Don't take it any higher than the hip, it just makes it harder to keep it lifted. So hip height or lower. And you're going to bring that leg back. Think of the back, the pulling of it back as if it's that winding up of a toy for it to be able to propel forwards. So slight pull back, try and keep those hips stabilised. From there you're going to go kick, kick and in. Pulling back, kick, kick and in. So with that kick, you're thinking forwards, forwards and then back. Don't let yourself lose your position. The leg should have a little rebound on it. So pulling that leg back, forwards, forwards, in. Pulling back, use your tummy here. Forwards, forwards, in. Pulling back, kick, kick and in. 2 more here, pulling back. Kick, kick, in, last one, pulling back. Kick, kick, in, rest that leg down. From here we want to make sure that we're perfectly balanced, hips one on top of the other. So really working your tummy and zip up underneath your waist. You can leave your hand on your hip, but if you need help balancing, bring it down onto the floor. From here we're going into our usual point and flex, lifting up. So we're going to lift up pointed, flex to come back down. Point to lift, flex to come back down. We want to be taking nice deep breaths, lifting up, flexing down, lifting up, flexing down. Breathe, up and down, lifting up and down. 4 more, lift up and down, lifting up and down. Last 2, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. From here we lift that leg up, we're going into circles, forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest that leg down. The top leg is going to lift just to hip height. Bottom leg comes to join it. They come down together. You're still stacked with those hips. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Make sure you're breathing. Got 2 more here. Lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Up and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. If you're supporting your head in your hand like this, then you need to drop down onto the arm flatter for us to be able to do our upper body and our double leg lift. So remember, you're hinging through your waist. You're going to press into this long arm to give yourself this lift. So you want from the armpit underneath, lifting up. Bring the head as well, at the same time as the legs going. Ideally hand on the hip, but you can come down for support if you need to. So pushing into the arm, lifting the legs and the upper body up and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. Remember to breathe. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relaxing there. From there we need to swap sides. So you can either roll over to face the other way or change the end of your mat. Sorry, I'm a bit slower moving around now. So to set up, remember, you want to have your arm either long for you to be able to rest your head on, or bending the elbow to rest your head in your hand. Up to you which one you find more comfortable. Get those legs nice and long. Remember, if you can flex your feet and see the toes, and they're in line. If not, bring them slightly further forwards. So we do our leg swings first. That leg is just lifting up, no higher than hip height. You can keep it low, but no higher. We're pulling back, winding up, ready to come kick, kick and in. Pulling back, kick, kick and in. Use your tummy, pull back, kick, kick and in. Pulling back, kick, kick and in, breathe, pulling back, kick, kick and in, 4 more, pull back, and in, pull back, and in, pull back, kick, kick and in, last one, pulling back, kick, kick and in, relaxing there. From here, just make sure those hips are really stacked up, one on top of the other. Get the tummy nice and tightened. Remember, you can use this hand here for support. We're lifting up, pointed, flexing to come back down. Pointing to lift, flexing to come back down. Zip up under your waist, lift and flex. Point and flex, 4 more, breathe. Got 2 more, lifting up and down, lifting up and down. We're lifting up to do our circles forwards for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, you're lifting your top leg up pointed, bottom leg comes to meet it. Bring them back down together. We lift, lift and down. Lift, lift and down. Breathe, breathe and down. Up, up and down. Up, up and down. 2 more, lifting up, up and down. Up, up and down. Double lifts coming up and down. Lift and down. Breathe up and down. Up and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. So here, remember, if your hand is supporting your head, you need to drop it down. You're pushing into this long arm to get your lift in your upper body as you lift both legs. You're hinging in your waist. If you can, hand on the hip. If not, resting down on the floor. Here we go. We're lifting up and down. Up and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. 4 more. Lift and down. Lift and down. Last 2. Lift and down. Lift and down. Relaxing there. Roll onto your back and take a full body stretch. Good. From here, we're going to be going on to our hands and knees. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So on the hands and knees, we're going to be on our forearms. We're going to still work on the legs. What I want you to be doing here is keeping your forearms parallel from one another. If I turn to face you, so you want your arms to be here. I don't want them to be crossed over in front, which lots of people like to do, or open up. It just adjusts to the position of your shoulders and your chest, but if they're parallel, you know that you're nice and open, and you're in the right position, you can relax the shoulders. So we're still going to be working on the legs here, and lifting up backwards. We've done this one a few times before. So you're just going to take one leg out behind with the toe flex, as if you were going to go into a plank position. Staying on this leg, you're going to be lifting up and down. Lift and down. Up and down. So it's just a lift up and down. If you do suffer from sore hip, this is my sore side that I'm lifting, And hopefully it will help to just get a little bit more movement there in a different direction. We don't often train the leg to come backwards. Lift and down. So the leg should be nice and long, and you're coming back to the toes, touching the floor each time you come down to the mat. Let's take 2 more here. Lift and down, lift and down. Bend that leg back in. The other leg comes out behind you with the foot flexed. Lift and down, lift and down, lift and down. So it doesn't have to be really high. You can see mine is really small here, and that's because my hip on the side I'm supporting is quite painful. So if you have that, just keep it really small. If not, lift that leg up as high as you can, maintaining the length. Nice deep breaths. The last 2 here, lifting up and down, up and down. Relaxing back into a shell stretch, so bottom to the feet, arms reach out in front. Staying on your hands and knees, but this time on long arms. We want both toes tucked under, and your tummy is nice and tightened. Let me just sort out my top, sorry. So if your wrists are really sore, you can be on your forearms, but if you prefer long arms, that's also fine. As you breathe out, pull your tummy in, press into your hands and your feet, and you want your knees to lift just an inch or so from the floor. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. As you're lifting, just try and keep that head in line with the rest of your spine. So if you're on long arms, you're looking just past your fingertips. And if you're on your forearms, you're looking straight down to the floor. I don't want you to drop the head or lift it up, where you're going to put unnecessary pressure through the neck, through the top of the spine. Let's take 4 more here, lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, lift up and down, lifting up and down. From there, relax back and roll through your wrists. Okay, so we're going to go into our planks, and we're going to go from a downward dog, which we have done before. And whilst we're in our downward dog, we're going to do a kind of press up. So with this one, when I've taught it in classes, obviously I can't see you, when people do a press up in a downward dog position, they always let the downward dog position drop, and you don't want that to happen. You want your bottom to be in the highest position you can, because that type of press up will then work your shoulders more than your arms. Then we're going to go into our plank. I'm going to demonstrate for you, but my transition from downward dog to plank will be my knees dropping, so just bear in mind that you'll need to keep your knees off of the floor. If you know your feet slip on your mat and you're on a carpeted surface, you can step onto that. If not, something grippy on your mat, like an elastic band type thing or a towel might help. So you can do your forearms here, but if you're on your forearms, you're obviously not going to do a press up. You're just going to be holding a downward dog. Take your hands and your knees at a diagonal angle from the rest of your body. Try and make sure that your legs aren't going to go too wide. You want them quite close together. Hands are about shoulder width apart. So if you're not sure about what I'm talking about, if you've never done a press up in a downward dog position, you can watch. I'm now going to demonstrate. You're going to push the bottom up nice and high. So you're finding a really strong downward dog position. It doesn't matter if your knees are bent and your heels are lifted. You're just in your downward dog. Whilst you're here, you're going to do a press up. So if you watch my position, my bottom doesn't drop at all. I'm just bending my elbows straightening my elbows. From there, you're then going to start to drop your bottom as you bring it forward. So I'm going to be on my knees to come into your plank position. You're just holding your plank for a breath in and out. And relax. Okay, I'm going to keep doing the downward dog press ups as we go through, so if you're not sure you can have a watch. So when you're coming into your downward dog, remember you're a triangle. Your bottom is that top point. Once you feel you're in that good position, then you're bending. It's hard. So if you feel like you're not getting a lot of movement, don't worry, that doesn't matter. Then bring your bottom forwards, tucking under, plank position. Make sure there that you're not letting your hips drop too far down. Squeeze that bottom tummy tight and you're in a strong plank before you then relax. Breathe whilst you're doing it. Lifting up. Strong downward dog position before you start to bend and straighten. Then you're coming forwards into your plank to hold for your breath in and out, relaxing down. Take this in your own time, there's no rush. You can stretch out in that downward dog position for a couple of seconds first before you take your press up if you want to. Making sure that you're using your tummy muscles and your bottom as you come into your plank. The downward dog is really all about that stretch and strengthening up those shoulders. I know lots of people don't like that style of press up, but it's really good for that upper body to build that strength. We're just going to do 2 more of those. Pushing that bottom up nice and high. Bending the elbows. Straighten. Bring yourself forwards into your plank position. Breathe in and out. Relaxing down, last one. Push the bottom up high. From there you've got your bend. Straighten. Coming into your plank. Breathing in and out, then relaxing down. From there, roll out through your wrists. Good, and then we're going to take a little stretch out. Grab a drink if you need one. So you can come into a standing position if you don't like kneeling, that's fine. I just want to stay in shot on the camera. So from here we're going to take a nice roll back of the shoulders. Nice deep breaths. And forwards. Bring those arms out to the sides. Lifting up, stretching over, coming back to the centre, lifting up, stretching over, back to the centre. One more time on each side, lift up, stretch over, back to the centre, lifting up, stretching over, back to the centre, relaxing there. That's the end of today's class. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. I can't believe that we are already in June. I think this is the 11th week of sessions. So I do it quite regularly, but thank you so much for joining me and keeping me going in lockdown as well. I hope you all have a lovely day. I think we're supposed to have loads more sunshine, which is great. Remember to get out for that walk, run, cycle, whatever it is that you like to do outside. And I hope to see lots of you during the rest of this week. Take care. Bye-bye.